Good morning. Early Saturday morning, I'm here with Commissioner Terrence Pender and with one of my longtime friends, Willie Logan, from the Opa-locka CDC. And as a matter of fact, he's the president of the CDC. Commissioner Pender, can you tell us what's going on here today?
It's a lot going on here today. We got about 200 volunteers. I call this the revitalization. Close to our downtown, not really in our downtown, but we're on our way and we're getting closer and closer. It's a great event. We have Mr. Logan's going to talk about all of the partnerships that went into this. We can't do anything unless we do it with a partnership.
That's right.
Private, non-private, government, all has to work together to make this place come alive.
Dr. Logan, can you give us an in-depth, inside track on what's going on here today?
Absolutely, and we're very excited about this project. It's a partnership between many organizations and institutions throughout Miami-Dade County in order to help beautify and revitalize the city of Opa-locka. This particular effort is called Paint Day. And what we're doing is we're painting the public space between private properties on both sides of the streets on Alabama Avenue. And the idea is to show how paint can make a difference and make a place a destination and to beautify a place. We're working with Miami Rise, which is a leadership group of the Greater Miami Chamber of Commerce. We have Wells Fargo. We've had the Kresge Foundation and the Knight Foundation that helped to fund this. We have Wells Fargo that contribute a significant amount of money and that have about 30 volunteers out here in the red t-shirts. We've obviously partnered with the city of Opa-locka, which has been extraordinary in helping us to secure the streets, clean the streets, as well as come out and help get this effort done. This is a wonderful project that we think is going to bring very positive attention to the city of Opa-locka.
Yes. Commissioner Pender.
Yes.
Now, everybody's always talking about the budget. Now, you got 200 plus employees for the city of Opa-locka for 8 hours a day. How does that impact your budget?
It's always good to have volunteers. You can't put a price on volunteerism and the passion that they have. And I just want to thank Dr. Logan for really coordinating this and showing us on government side what we are capable of doing.
Right. Everybody looks at Opa-locka and the history of just this street here, Alabama alone. And for us to take it to a futuristic level in less than 8 hours, something that can span for years, and it also opens up the window to our community. This is really a big push in terms of cultivating our, what we call our project for beautification. We've cleaned the city, we've landscaped the city, now we're here to paint the city. Dr. Logan, can we have some closing remarks from you, sir?
Well, I just think, once again, this is a wonderful day. It's a day where people are coming together to discover, rediscover Opa-locka, and to make a difference. And so having so many people volunteering their time on a hot Saturday afternoon, Saturday morning, in order to beautify this city is a wonderful thing. And we hope these people come back to shop, live, work, open businesses in Opa-locka, because not only are we beautifying Opa-locka, we're introducing people to the city of Opa-locka.
Very important.
So we think it's a very important effort and an initiative, and we're very grateful and thankful for the folks who are here helping us today.
Commissioner?
Yes.
Great day in the city.
It's a great day in the city, and I don't know if Dr. Logan knows, we've just bought Town Center 1, $8.5 million acquisition, and we're his neighbor now. And we want people to enjoy coming down this corridor, looking at the beautiful paint, seeing how beautiful it is. And we got other things that's coming up. Infrastructure work being done in Alabama. I'm really excited, and I can't wait till we continue to revitalize this community.
You got three very important entities here today. The Opa-locka Community Development Corporation, the City of Opa-locka, and Opa-locka's Community Redevelopment Agency. And we're here in our partnership. We're here on a Saturday morning. We thought it was not robbery to come out here. We want the best for this city. And the only way that you can achieve that, you got to bring in partners, and you got to create those public-private partnerships in order to move this agenda forward. This is a great Saturday morning for the great city of Opa-locka. The three of us would like to tell everybody in the city of Opa-locka, thank you, and we're going to continue with this great embodiment of work. Have a great day.
Thank you.
One thing about being a politician, it's not all bad. Sometimes you really get to meet famous people, and we're honored here today in the city of Opa-locka to have the famous Walter Hood, the artist himself, in our city. Mr. Hood, thank you for coming.
Not a problem. Great to be here in Opa-locka. I always like returning down here to work with the CDC and the city to make this project in this street come to fruition.
Mr. Hood, what all went into this? Because, you know, people think artists, artistic, how much planning does it come, or does it just come so naturally to you?
Well, I wouldn't say anything comes natural. We've been planning a lot of work here in Opa-locka for the last 3 years.
Okay.
And I have to give it to Willie Logan, the head of the CDC here, who invited a lot of us artists who don't live here in Florida to come. I'm from the West Coast, Oakland, California, come all the way out here, talk with residents and try to instill our vision in this landscape.
That is great. And you're from California now. Now, what sun is the best, California sun or South Beach sun?
I'm in South Beach, so I better go with South Beach right now.
You got to go with South Beach. Mr. Hood, on a serious note, the things that you've done on that building, what I see today, how much impact does it have on revitalizing an area like this? Because I'm sure this is not your first time.
Right. I mean, the big thing that we try to talk about is that you have to change the sociology of place. That people get used to environments, and particularly people living in marginal environments, they begin to sort of think it's okay to live that way.
Right.
When I first came here, Willie asked me what did I want to do, and I said, let me go out and walk the neighborhood and see. So I walked this boulevard from Alibaba from one end to the other.
Okay.
And the thing that I noticed, there was not a single street tree. I was in August. I was in all white. By the time I got back, I was drenched in sweat, and I noticed that people, as I was walking along the way, looked at me like I was crazy.
Right.
And so my first thought was, we gotta basically develop some oases here. Basically environments that people can be in and be cool and understand that they're in Florida.
Right.
Florida is like paradise, man.
Right, right.
So how can you be in paradise without paradise?
You got it.
And so we're trying to bring paradise to Opa-locka.
You know, you said something interesting. You said Oasis.
Yes.
It's amazing because we have a radio station now, and the name of it is Oasis Radio.
That's fantastic.
And it's an internet radio station, and you can tune in when you're not on South Beach and you're in California.
Oh, that's great.
But what I wanted to zoom in on, the development of those oases that
Yes.
you're talking about. How do you do it? Is above ground? I've heard about it,
Yes.
but I haven't got a chance to see it.
Well, it's a very simple idea. It's been done all over the country. And those people that are not doing it, you're behind. Florida gets a lot of rain.
Okay.
And you guys have event issues here. Like it'll rain for 30 to 45 minutes and the water needs to go into the ground and get out of here. But what happens in Opa-locka, last time I was here, it rained for 30 minutes. I was trying to leave, all the streets were flooded. You have to call people in to pump the water out.
Right.
And all you have to do is hold the water somewhere.
Okay.
So right now you're planning to do a big pipe under the ground.
Okay.
To put all that water in.
Right.
And that's a typical engineering solution,
Okay.
which is not going to affect anyone above ground other than get the water out of the way. And
Right.
what we're trying to say is you can actually parcel some of that water out above ground and actually create verdant environments where you can have trees and other things, and that'll slow the water down before it hits that pipe. And in actuality, it'll make the pipe smaller.
Wow.
So if you deal with these green infrastructure things above grade, you actually spend less money. And this is the thing that a lot of engineers, though, are not open to because it's a different way of thinking. Engineers think about water hitting the ground, going into the pipe, and then going out to sea. What we're trying to say is, before the engineers came, when we call it point source infiltration, the water hits the ground and it takes a long time to go in. And that way plants and animals can actually benefit from it. But right now what we do is pave and we get the water out of there, so that's why we don't have plants and animals. So what we're trying to say is we want to do just 7 of them. 7 oases from one end to the other, so plants, animals, and people can commingle together in this amazing environment. It's a very simple thing to do.
You know, that's amazing because we're working on our downtown comprehensive plan.
Yes.
We've just talked about widening the sidewalks.
Yes.
And, you know, Oasis, I like that. That's the name of our radio station.
I love that.
I love it.
I love
it. Mr. Walter Hood, it's an honor to have you here in our presence in our city, and from the mayor, Myra L. Taylor, our vice mayor, Timothy Holmes, our commissioner, Joseph L. Kelly, and our commissioner, Louis B. Santiago, and myself. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being here and not on South Beach today. Thank you for revitalizing ourselves, and we will have some oasis somewhere in this city. I guarantee it.
That sounds great.
Thank you
and
so
we're gonna
much.
hold you guys to it.
You will. That's okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Hood.
Thank you, man.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. We're on 77.
Well, we're about midway through this project here on Alabama for our street painting project. Jermaine came all the way from California, relocated here as a part of Opa-locka CDC staff And really, he's a real young artistic genius, and we're glad to have him in our fair city. Elaborate on, Jermaine, on what's going on here today.
So this is one of the first steps of many to redesign and reposition Opa-locka in the realm of arts within all of Miami-Dade and South Florida. So what you're seeing right now is about a quarter-mile stretch where we have people repainting the streets as the initial step to bring attention to the neighborhood. So as they drive past, they see these markers on the road and want to know what's going on, what's this new vibrancy, what's making this city so happening right now.
Right. You know what? That's why it's good to turn some of this good stuff over to the young people, because of these creative ideas, the creative juices, the energy, because in Opa-locka, we're talking about change. Change is only going to occur when you put people in motion to do things. So, Jermaine, how have you been a part of that process?
So I've been here for a little bit over 2 years now, moving from LA. And since I've been here, we've started this project. We finished the new Arts and Recreation Center. We built a park in Magnolia North, in that neighborhood down the street, notoriously pretty bad neighborhood historically, and we're starting to change that reputation. So the idea is that we just make these tiny little incisions throughout the city. When you're done, you can see it all as a composite, and you're telling yourself, oh wow, I didn't know those tiny little things that I did a couple months at a time end up being this giant aggregate of new stuff in the neighborhood.
But you know what I'd like to expound on for a quick minute, Jermaine is also on our planning council, so he has a very big hand in terms of how the city is going to be shaped, not just from an artistic standpoint, but in terms of real commercial and economic development.
So I think that's a wonderful honor. I was appointed by Commissioner Penders. He saw something in me as far as my background in architecture, undergrad and graduate school, and it's a lot of fun to be at the ground level and being able to help a city grow, change its reputation, and be at that ground level grassroots to be able to say, when I look back when I'm older and I helped do that, I helped implement that policy, I sat in on those meetings, that was me who helped do those things, and
we
just
glad
have a
for
small
that.
role.
Yes. One thing that really impressed me about Jermaine came here not knowing anything really about the city, and he took up residence in Magnolia North, a.k.a. the Triangle, because they felt as though, hey, if I'm going to really sit here and make a difference, let me go and set up shop so I can find out what's going on 24/7. And I can live down there, I can talk to the residents, I can be a part of the vibrancy or the rebirth of that neighborhood. And that is what really impressed me about you, Jermaine. It was just the fact that you took it upon yourself to say, look, that's where you want me at, that's where I'm going.
Well, I was fortunate enough to be raised in the streets of Chicago, so growing up in the Triangle isn't that big of a deal for me. But I think the biggest thing is it would be really disingenuous to say I want to help a community, but never be in the community, right? So I don't want to be the person who stands from afar and kind of just throws money at people and says, here, go help yourself. Because how much help does that really do? But if I can live there, if I can show you, no, I live just like you live. I live right next door to you. You want to ask me a question about what we're doing, you can literally knock on my door and you can ask me. And then when working stuff, you see my face, you'll start to realize I'm a part of the community. I'm not an outsider. I mean, I wasn't born here, but at least now I can say I live here. This is my residency.
Right. And one other thing that I like, Jermaine was one of the key vocal points in terms of organizing this 200 plus, over 6 different organizations. We got banks involved. We got, other community, partners involved as far as, other nonprofits. And I just got to say, Miami Rise just came to the occasion along with Wells Fargo and other, profit and nonprofit organizations that sent their employees out or got people to volunteer, and like I say, when you push the envelope, volunteerism is very, very big.
Yes.
And I've been a volunteer in various projects for the last 20, 30 years of my life. And anytime that volunteers come out, they're not looking for no more than to say, hey, we're here to help.
And I think we give a big thanks to the Greater Chamber of Miami Commerce. They're the ones who sponsor Leadership Miami, which is where the Miami Rise team originates from.
Very
so
good.
Fortunately, the Opa-locka CDC was selected by Miami Rise to come and take on this large endeavor to help redo these streets. And I've just been fortunate enough to be a part of the process from the ground up all the way to now to say, here are the stakeholders, here's the meetings we have with city officials like yourself, who've definitely helped facilitate this whole process. And I can't tell you how helpful and how much your oversight has been to make sure this runs as smoothly as possible. We know it's not easy to just shut down one of the main corridors in the entire neighborhood, but you pulled it off for us, and I think you'll be able to see the fruits of your labor at around 3 o'clock today when all this stuff is done. And you're like, you know what? I'm glad I did this. I'm glad those officers came out and helped out, because now we have this beautiful street that we can call our own.
But Jermaine, I'm gonna tell you how we're connected.
Okay.
I used to live in the Triangle.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Yeah.
And then I finished my residency on 22nd Avenue. So
Yeah.
this, for me, this fresh coat of paint
Yeah.
is like a rebirth of my neighborhood.
I got
a
you.
place that I call home, that I lived until I was a senior in college on 22nd Avenue, when people thought it was not favored to even live in Opa-locka. Now to be back and partnering with young people. See, I'm real big on young, artistic, talented young people.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want the rest of the young people to unite with you. We got a lot of good young people on our staff, Nelson Rodriguez, we got Lobo, you know, we got a lot of good talent. We got a young architect, Mr. Ledger.
Mm-hmm.
All of you young guys, I'd just like for you all just to really, you know, just to come together and do more stuff together, because all of you all are creative and the future lies within our young people. I'm a strong advocate for that.
Well, I appreciate it. One of the things when you're growing up, everybody tells you stay away from the arts.
Yeah.
Because you're going to make enough money. First thing they say is, you don't want to do that. Go be
Yeah.
a lawyer. Go be a banker. Go do something
Yes,
else.
yes.
Financially, I might not be compensated the same, but I think I'm able to see tangible results
Yes.
of the fruits of my labor as opposed to someone else who might look at a spreadsheet all day.
That's right.
I can write down the street and say, I helped do this. Whereas somebody else, you help get some money in their pocket, you might not actually see what that money is going towards.
Right.
So somebody like Josu Ledger in the Community Development Office, who I am familiar with and do a lot of work with at the Planning Council, he's definitely a person who helps me get through this process, helps show me the ropes people within the neighborhood and everything. So it's a collaborative effort.
Yes,
Nobody's
yes,
bigger than
yes,
anyone else.
yes.
We can do it with the help of everybody in the city.
And that's a credit to Dr. Logan. Dr. Logan has really reached out, I mean, internationally and nationally, to just find talent and talented people that know how to go out there and get things done. So, Jermaine, I thank you, man. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. The
I
city of
thank you.
Opa-locka appreciates all of this effort, man, and I'm here for the duration.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I
Okay.
thank you so much for all your help and effort.
Okay, thank you, sir. Channel 77. Yes, this is just another way of seeing how deep and in depth the partnership goes. We got Stephanie Baldwin here from the Opa-locka CDC, who is that person that likes to be behind the scenes. And we got her out front. We know she really wants to stay behind the scenes, but today we just want to tell her thank you, and for the people of Opa-locka to see who really gets a lot of stuff done over here with Dr. Logan at the CDC. And if you may.
I want to thank you all for all the help you all have given us, including Mr. Harris. Is it Dr. Harris? Mr. Harris.
Dr. Commissioner Pender,
Yes.
we've committed some city resources to this project. Can you tell us what that is?
Well, I'm going to let Pastor and Dr. Harris take the mic in a few minutes, but it's always preparation. Preparation is the key to everything. And we've had Public Works who's dedicated, putting out the barricades, pressure washing, working with contractors from 3 days ago. You know, we see the paint now. That's the pretty stuff. But the people that do the hard work, the labor, is this guy right here. And I'm going to pass the mic to him. And I just want to say thank you, Mr. Harris, for all that you do. You've not only cleaned the city, you're keeping it clean, and now you're beautifying even more with the partnerships. And I'm going to let you have a few words.
Thank you, Commissioner Pender, Ms. Stephanie, Ed. Ever since I went in the black hole, I just had to change the mindset. And so now when people are trying to steal the plants of the city, it upsets me. But, you know, it's hard work. But when I learned about now the painting, and we had to pressure wash and clean, it's just another part of keeping Opa-locka beautiful. So, you know, listen, don't throw no paper on the street. Don't mess with the plants, you know, and keep Opa-locka beautiful.
Mr. Harris did all of our pre-work, our prep work. I'm talking about bringing out the vac truck, I'm talking about the street sweeper, I'm talking about blowing the streets, I'm talking about pressure washing the street. You cannot paint a dirty street, and it's hard to market a city that's dirty. He's had a great hand in making sure that Opa-locka is beautiful, and I'd just like to personally thank him today. Another important entity that we have to mention is Chief Jeff Key from the Opa-locka Police Department, who put together the logistics, the officers that coordinate the effort for the rerouting of the buses, traffic, and keeping people off the street for 8 hours. So he had to commit resources from the police department. I just want to thank Chief Key, his staff, Pete Gonzalez, and the rest of the majors and the lieutenants in the police department, and the officers, and especially to our volunteer part-time officers who came out here today to make this project here a success. Commissioner, this is a great day for the city.
It is. And before we leave, I just want to say thank you to the residents that really believe in the vision. We're on our way. As I mentioned before, we have a home now. We have a home. We've purchased Town Center 1. You know, the Bible said, God bless the child that has his own. And Ms. Baldwin, I'll be able to look out my window into your window. Finally, I'm your neighbor, but we're going to have all the resources for our city to pay the water bill, light bill, come through, swipe your card. This is for real. We're on our way. And I just want to thank the residents again for believing in us, believing in the partnerships with the CDC, with Greater Miami, everybody. This is wonderful. I just want to say thank you again and stay tuned to 77.
I'd like to close out. I'd like to thank the entire staff of Opa-locka CDC who thought it was not robbery to make sure that we had 200 plus volunteers here. It was a lot of work that went into the planning, preparation, the communication that had to go out to all these organizations. When they got here this morning, it was the first time you had the face-to-face encounter with all these volunteers. But guess what? It was organized. When you got organization, anything can be successful. So one city, one team. This is all you're going to see. One city, one team. Thank you. We're back at Channel 77. And with me I have Eileen, one of the major contributors and coordinators for this event here today. We're getting ready to enter into phase 2 of our street painting project for Alabama Avenue. Eileen, tell us what we're going to expect for the rest of the day.
So the last phase for this afternoon for the painting project just includes painting the last layer on the street, the last color of blue, finishing up the red and yellow dots around the infrastructure elements, and then the professionals will also be painting the pattern in the bike lanes. So
wow. How do you feel about today total? Because you've been out here since 5 o'clock this morning.
4:30 in the morning.
4:30, okay.
I think today's been amazing. I couldn't ask for a better turnout. You know, there are local participants from Opa-locka who came here at 6 o'clock in the morning to help out. There are people from all over Miami-Dade. We've gotten so much accomplished, and it's only about noon right now. So,
you know, I'm looking up and down the street for the duration of the whole project, and I'm seeing over 200 volunteers out here today. You know, this is what it takes. It takes a full community in order to pull off this project, because art and business is the real trend for today's, you know, thriving urban communities. And you had a hand in that. And I'm just glad that you're here with us today. I'm glad that Dr. Logan allows you and Jermaine just to take this project and take it to the next level. In terms of what you're going to see after this here, can you expound on that as well?
So the idea is that this is the first of a series of community paint days. Right, so we'd like to paint the entire stretch of Alibaba Avenue. So this is just the first one, and then hopefully in a few months we'll be ready to do another section. And just get more people engaged, get more people seeing the change that is happening in the city of Opa-locka.
You know, and I think the second phase is going to be even more tremendous, because now you've laid the groundwork. I mean, this is beautiful. It has transformed this side of Alabama, this side of the city. We got a lot of major things going on. This goes right with our beautification project. And I just want to say, from the city of Opa-locka, from Mayor Myra Taylor, Vice Mayor Timothy Holm, and the city commission, we want to give you a bit of gratitude for everything you've done today.
Thank you so much, and thank you to the city for being such a wonderful partner.
Hey, we're in this together.
Yes.
All right, one city, one team.
That's right.
Thank you. I'm here today with one of our illustrious, longtime residents and leaders in our community. I mean, from the state legislator to the school board to the chairman of the Opa-locka CDC, a person that has always had community at heart. I'm just glad that he thought it was not robbery to help spearhead the leadership of that organization, Opa-locka CDC, to bring a plethora of volunteers to the city of Opa-locka to help us with our beautification project. Good afternoon, Chairman.
Hey, thank you so much.
How you doing?
You so
Can we
much.
have some words
Good,
of wisdom?
Ed. Oh, Ed, this is a wonderful day, another great day in the great city of Opa-locka,
yes.
With the great Opa-locka CDC. And we really want to thank our community partners who are reaching out to join in with this effort of using art as a catalyst to bring back our city. And we want to thank the volunteers from Wells Fargo, from the American Insurance Corporation, from Leadership Miami's group that's here, Miami Rise, and other community volunteers. We know we have teachers from Robert B. Ingram Elementary School who are out here.
I saw the principal.
And the principal herself is here. It's a great day. We're having a great time. And it's really beautiful.
Yes.
It's really beautiful. And it's right in the middle of the day. So
it's in the middle.
This thing will dry soon.
Yes.
And we'll be able to remove the tape and then go down here and see the end result. So we're pretty happy with what's going on. And thank you for coming out and keeping this record for us.
You know, we have to do what we have to do because I've seen it for the last couple months on paper. Seeing it on the street and an effect that it has, the calming effect, the beauty that it does, we were in the midst with the city of Opa-locka in terms of what we wanted to do to make this an art and business district.
Sure.
We have a very good stronghold on that right here today. And I just want to say thank you from Mayor Myra Taylor, Vice Mayor Timothy Holmes, and the rest of the City Commission and the City Manager, Kevin L. Baker, for spearheading this.
Well, we want to say thank you on behalf of our entire board of directors at the Opa-locka Community Development Corporation, as well as our executive, Willie Logan, former state rep, who has a vision continued for our city and our city's revitalization. So we're using art as a transformation. We want to think about it and thank Willie for that vision and sharing that with us. So thank you and the city for being here and keeping us and partnering with us to make it a success.
I've been knowing Mr. Wilbur T. Holloway for an awful long time, and he's one of the people that I really have grown to love, to like, his family, and to respect. And I can tell you one thing, I can stand here and don't have to make up and put adjectives in our conversation because it's not needed. He's a man of his word, the community is out, he is out, and we just love what you've been doing. I want to say thank you from the city of Opa-locka, your partner.
Thank you so much, Ed.
Okay.
We're great. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Channel 77.
Bam.